Hey, welcome to my channel, The Morning Mist. I am Paul. Um, I want to talk about back on the topic of my story and how I recovered from paranoid schizophrenia after being diagnosed and in and out of hospital for years. Uh, I want to talk about. I think I ended last time. I mentioned about I don't like some of the talk uh, on schizophrenia, or some of our self talk, I guess is what it is. And even maybe some of the way health professionals would even like you to talk, or I don't know, just some these words and just the way we speak, I think is all hinders us or can contribute to it, anyways. And I want to tell you why I said that and why I believe that and how taking the opposite road actually contributed greatly in me recovering fully from this illness. Um, you heard this saying, watch your thoughts, for they become words. Watch your words, for they become actions. Watch your actions, they become habits. Watch your habits, they become character. Watch your character, that becomes your destiny. And that's pretty much what it is, right? Your thoughts and your words, very powerful, you know, very powerful. And I want to, schizophrenia is, it is a mental battle, right? It is, and that's the thing. It is a battle, right? It's not a game. It's a battle for your life. It's a struggle for survival, and it is. It's kind of like when there are rules in life. There are rules, that laws and rules in this world, and within the mental, there are laws and rules as well that governs that place, and your thoughts play a very important role in either you benefiting from these rules or suffering from them, right? But so we have to start thinking differently and start speaking differently if we're going to use these laws to help us free ourselves, right? One of the things that I've that I don't I was hear people with, so I see some people on YouTube, or things I've read, or uh, you know even some of the things, I guess, some of the things that doctors say and stuff like that is. But for us, people who are suffering, have been suffering, is calling schizophrenia my schizophrenia. It seems simple, right? And what's wrong with that? Because it's I'm suffering from it. So my schizophrenia. Well, my question is, do you want it? you know, uh, is it yours really? And why would you claim it? Why would you you don't want it, obviously. That's why you're on medications. This is like, I always thought like this, like I didn't go to the store and say, hey sir or ma'am, can I get a pound, or some pounds of schizophrenia. No, I didn't say that. It's not mine. I didn't buy it. I don't want it. It is an enemy. It comes there and it steals from you, right? It steals from you. It tortures you, and it tries to kill you. It's not your friend, and it's not yours, because if it's yours, you would want it, right? It's not yours. It is an enemy of your very life. and it will destroy you. So don't, at least my advice is, don't say it's yours. It's no I've never said that. My schizophrenia. I understood the power, these power before I got diagnosed with this thing. So I never spoke like that. And I've never even confessed to having schizophrenia. Actually, I've never once said it. I've never said it. I always say I have been diagnosed with schizophrenia. I was careful of that, and partly due to the fact when I first got diagnosed, I never said I told them I never had it, and they misunderstood me because I never really explained why. Even though I believed them, but I never told them why I would never say, yeah, I agree with you. I have I just, I kind of took it a little bit far and say, I don't have it. I was afraid that because in my delusions, I was thinking that they wanted me to say you have it. So then I start speaking like that and then I get stuck with it. So I said, I don't got no schizophrenia. So they think that by me saying that, they figured I wasn't recognizing myself. And so that was part of the issue. But no, I knew exactly what was going on and what they're saying. But I just said, yeah, no, buddy. And so it's always like I've been diagnosed with schizophrenia, but I'm not schizophrenic, and I never said that. And it because the thing is, it's like when you have, to tell you about the power of words. When you have a child, right, and if you tell a child you're worthless, you'll never amount to nothing, and you're just a useless person, how are they gonna walk through life? Defeated. They have to, right? If those words affect them, which the great majority of the cases they will, they're gonna walk through life defeated. Their heads are gonna be hanging down, their shoulders through, and they're just gonna be walking all low. And they're gonna start thinking that. They're going to start believing that about themselves. They're going to start speaking it. I'm useless. I'm worthless. I'm nothing. And is it a surprise if that child ends up to be exactly that as they grow? It won't be a surprise. Few children have the capacity to hear those things and hate it so much that they... not that they hate it so much, because they all hate it, but the fact that they can take that and turn it around and struggle against that. And it is a mental struggle to fight such an oppressive thing and be better. But some people can, but most people, it would affect them in such a negative way that it'll beat them down for the rest of their lives. And they'll turn to the very thing that those words were designed to do, just to destroy them. And so it first starts at the mind, right? That's where the battle is. That's where the battle is very start. You have to start recognizing that this is a battle and I've got to fight. And it's not just medications. Medications are great, but it's not just that. You have the goal is not to exist alongside of it. To me, that's out of the question. Don't settle for that. Do not let healthcare professionals draw your boundaries like they did try to do to me and tell me that I would never be able to live a normal life without medications, right? They wanted to write me off and throw me in Alberta hospital because they figured I can't get past it, and they tell me, yeah, my mom says, Ken Paul, you think you'd be able to have a normal life? And she's like, well, not without medications, he can't. So they drew a line for me and say he'll never get beyond this point without, medication. And I'm not against medications. I'm 100% for it. But it's just, and it has its place. What I'm saying is don't let them draw your marker and tell you what you're capable of. You understand? Because they're doing what they, that's all they know. I'm not blaming them. That's all they know. They're doing their best. But even if you're taking medications, which you should, understand that you don't have to have any kind of voices, and sometimes I hear people talk about, they name these voices and call them all kinds of names, like they're pets or something. Don't do that. These things are not your friends. I don't care how friendly they speak to you. They are not your friends. because they will speak to you friendly today. You get off your meds, they'll come and rip your throat out. That's how they are. They're not your friends. Get that out of your mind. You understand what I'm saying? They're not your friends. Don't talk to them. Don't play with them. Don't feed them. Don't water them. Walk away. You know, I'll talk about so I can get there. But anyways, so, you know, so you got to start thinking more separation. The difference between me and the voices. You understand? And understand that if you can understand that this thing, if you can envision that this thing has a will, its will is to destroy you. Right? So see it as an enemy. And do not be identified with your enemy. You understand? Because your enemy is seeking to destroy you. You're seeking to destroy it. Don't say my schizophrenia or my, you know, or my voices or anything. Don't say the voices, the illness, the schizophrenia. You know, make that distinction. You know, and you start walking like that, separating yourself. And that's how I done it. That's how I done it. And it proved to be very effective, you know, and continue walking like that, continue believing that separation, and continue to recognize that it's not your friend, and don't identify yourself with the illness, because it's, like I said, it's not yours. It is a destructive force, and it comes to kill. So I think that's probably gonna be it. You know, on the talk of how we speak about this illness, and you know, it's very important. It's very, very important, and I think we need to. You know, I don't know. You know, most people probably can't get this, understand it, because it's so contrary to what, like, I don't, you know, what people are taught or told or do, and that's one of the reasons why I've been reluctant to share my story for all this time, because even though people told me to, I'm like, no, because it's just everybody, you know, everybody's seem to be on one way of things, and I just, you know, I didn't think people could understand where I'm coming from. And these things I'm saying. But if you can understand it, if it makes sense to you, great. I guarantee you it'll help you. But that's not all there is to it. You know, and I'm gonna get into more stuff as well. That's just this aspect of it, right? Separating yourself, recognizing the difference. Don't ever claim something that you don't want. You know, I tell you that. When I went back to school, it was difficult. I had challenges up here, man. I'm fighting all these things, but one thing I had to maintain: I can do this. I can succeed, right? Nobody here is better than me. You understand? When I went to school for my trades, that's how I had to approach it, right? I could not doubt myself. I had to believe for what I wanted. I had to think like that, and I spoke like that. Right? And I succeeded. I only failed 2 exams from first year through 4th year. One of them was a unit exam, or whatever, freaking exam in 4th year. It was the first exam I failed in 4th. And the second one was a Red Seal exam. I failed it by 1%, 1 mark. That's it. Passed it my second time. And I had to believe, I approached everything like that. And sometimes it was tough. It wasn't easy. It was tough, but I had to believe in myself. I had to think good, speak good. And throughout that time, I was still struggling to overcome some of these things. Just the first year, mainly, the anxieties and, you know, just being in a classroom and all that stuff like that again. And it was a lot of, it was a lot of a struggle, but I got through it. And it was all up here and through the mouth. But I spoke all these things, and sure enough, what I spoke, what I thought, and what I spoke came to pass. So Anyway, so thank you again for tuning in, and hopefully somebody you're able to gain something from this, and uh, hopefully it can help somebody. Again, like I said, this is just the second part of it, and I want to continue with the system that I used, the methods and the ways, and hopefully again it can help somebody. It is what it is. Not everybody can understand, or not everybody will see it, but even if you don't see it today, maybe you'll see it tomorrow. So thank you again for tuning in, and hopefully I'll see you again, and we get some more of these going. All right, see ya.